Welcome to the LongBox Paradox, episode 80, with the very subdued Jen and myself. Jen is on painkillers.
Yeah.
I am on exhaustion, so it's going to be a very, I don't know if subdued's the word, tired.
Maybe like low energy. I tried to caffeinate up as much as possible, but it's really just not doing it. For anyone who doesn't know, I broke my toe, my foot, and just trying to recover from that. So we'll see.
Boy, howdy did you.
Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy does it hurt.
You're never going to make it happen.
No.
That's just never going to happen.
I don't need to make it happen because it already happened. Boy, howdy is a thing.
No, it's not. Really not. So we have new comics.
Yay! Finally, after like how many weeks? Like
6 at least.
8. Well, yeah,
maybe
I would say like 8, maybe. And then last week I feel like was such a short week, such a like low week that there really wasn't like a lot that I was excited about for last week. So I'm not even counting last week.
This week is kind of low too.
Yeah.
It's not fantastic. At least I had Deadly Class last week. I got my little Remender fix. So there also is another weird thing in the news where Diamond not getting DC books out on time, and DC's blaming them, and then Diamond's kind of like, we're not going to even talk about it because that's kind of what they do. So they were telling people who got the books from the other distributors to hold on to them for a week. So you might have gotten the books, you might have not. It's kind of a weird limbo, and it's only certain places didn't get them. But
I don't know if you had made this analogy before, but I feel like it's like mom and dad are getting a divorce, and like the people who really aren't winning are the children. Like in this, the people who aren't winning are comic book shop owners, and comic book consumers are the losers in all of this.
Pretty much. I mean, it's the way it's been pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
Literally with like DC be like, oh no, we just want to have our own way. And then, Tuesday Comics now, which Diamond's not going to ship twice. So
no.
kind of fucked. And it's weird that there's these two distributors that are only distributing DC books.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems a little weird, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start it out
for our picks of the week.
Picks of the week, and it was slim pickings.
It kind of was.
Literally was, especially if you like indie books. It really was not good. So a book that pre-quarantine that we had both read was Mercy by Mirka Andolfo. Image really pushed this book. Like, pushed it hard. Like, hard with 2 Ds.
Hard with 2 Ds. And
it is a kind of gothic horror. Oh my god. Cinia, hello!
Hey!
We miss you. Ooh. Wow, speaking of hard with 2 Ds, you're at work. Sorry, I had to go there. Really happy to see you. I know you've been social justicing all day, but not with comics, because comics don't have social justice.
You're doing the Lord's work, Sydney. Like, I love all your posts, and keep them coming, please.
Unleash the curls, your power move. So we both were pretty lukewarm on Mirka Andolfo's first issue of Mercy. I remember saying that we both did not remember the characters after reading it. Love you too, Cinia. Love you. No. Sorry, it's gross. I have not slept. So, gothic horror, kind of a monster, maybe, sorta. A little bit of Oliver Twist with all the orphans in it.
Yeah.
Please, sir, may I have another? Please, sir. It's gonna be that kind of episode. So, I read issue 2, and I did not love it.
I told you, so Mercy was on one of my picks of the week too, and I haven't had a chance to read issue number 2, but I did go back and read issue number 1 because when I initially read it, 2-3 months ago, lukewarm reception. Image had pushed it a lot, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a phenomenal title. This sounds like it's going to hit all of the buttons that is something that I love. And issue 1 didn't really do it for me. I went back and reread it again today, and I still don't think I have any fucking clue what's going on. And I don't even know if I care about who I think is the main character. So I don't know. I'm sad because the art is so beautiful.
That was the thing I was going to say again. The art is really good. It just felt like more of the same. There's nothing in there. And then there's kind of a reveal at the end of this issue that reminded me of Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. But again, they don't give you anything where I'm just trying to piece this shit together. And I'm just I think there's something here, but it's just not giving me anything. I literally don't give a fuck about this character.
I 100%. And like I said, I haven't even read issue number 2. And normally I feel like I'd be a lot more open and I'd be like, oh, I'll go ahead and grab issues 3 and 4 and whatever. To be honest, at this point, I'm probably just going to wait for the trade. And I don't know. I may even not, depending on how I hear the other issues go. So who knows?
So I also kind of feel like it borrowed from Let Me In. Or Let the Right One In, whatever you want to call it, whether the foreign or this. I felt like it borrowed a little bit for the Lady Helene's Keeper. But I could be wrong. He could be just kind of like a Renfield from Dracula. I'm not sure, but I can't tell because they don't fucking tell you anything. They give you nothing. It's infuriating. And
there's a lot of little storylines going on, and you would think that they would give a little... I feel like the writing, Mirka could have either cut down some of the storylines and given us more information about the main storyline.
A little bit. It's kind of infuriating in the way I know Cindy and I both complain about Lemire with Gideon Falls, where it's kind of slow and it gives you just a teeny bit, but then it just keeps leaving threads where you're just come the fuck on, just move it along. The first trade, you still know nothing. You just know there's a black barn and it takes people. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most infuriating Lemire books. This book is infuriating in a different way.
I liked Gideon Falls. I think it's a slow burn.
After you get to the third trade, it picks up, but it's work. If you have to wait to the third trade to enjoy it, then don't. So there's art in here which I really like. Shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Her artwork is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning.
It's just it's infuriating, this book, and I hate it. The coloring's good. Which the colorist is.
Did she do her own coloring?
No, Gianluca Papi.
Oh.
She does as the assistant. She does her own coloring too, though.
Got it.
So there's a color assistant.
Got it. Who probably does the flats or whatever.
Probably. This is a 2 for me. And even then, a lot of it's just because of the art.
Yeah.
I wish there could be more to it for me, and there isn't, and that is frustrating.
I would have to 100% agree with the everything that you just said. Like I said, it was one of my picks of the week that I was kind of excited to read, even though I didn't enjoy the first one.
Hey, animation.
Hello. So I thought that I was going to enjoy it a little bit more the second time around, but I'll still read the second issue and see if I come away with something different. But solid, if I was going to go, I don't know, whatever out of 10. I'd maybe give it a 3 or 4, but that's merely because of the artwork.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And thank you. The shirt, yeah. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. I love Wu-Tang, so
Woo!
I see both silent, profiling, jet flying, woo!
Woo!
Yeah, I am loopy as fuck today. What was your book? One of the books you want to talk about?
So Mercy was like one of my picks. Another pick that came out this week that I haven't had a chance to read it, but I did go back and reread the first one. But that was King of Nowhere. I think I even mentioned this when we talked 2-3 months ago when we read Mercy, and this one came out in the same week. I had no clue what was going on with this one, but it was a lot more fun. It was like an acid trip, or like a bad acid trip, but you're still having fun. It was just weird and it was wacky. And so I'm really, really excited to read issue number 2 of King of Nowhere. It's published by, I think, Boom Studios. It's done by W. Maxwell Prince, Tyler Jenkins, Hillary Jenkins. So I'm really excited to dig into this one because the difference between not knowing what was going on in this one versus not knowing what was going on with Mercy is that this was still fun. Like Mercy, I had no clue what was going on and it wasn't fun. This one was fun. It's weird, it's wacky, and that's like my brand. Weird
W. Maxwell Prince, that's Ice Cream Man, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So just along that same line, like you kind of know what's going on. Granted, like Ice Cream Man is a completely different beast because that's like Twilight Zone meets Black Mirror, and it's still weird. But this one is more of a continued storyline where Ice Cream Man was like different ones. So King of Nowhere number 2 came out today. I really enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I bought issue 1 and 2 on digital. I haven't read them yet. I've got Basket Full of Heads number 7 by Joe Hill with art by Leo Max and color by Dave Stewart. I enjoyed this series. It wasn't my favorite of the Hill House books, but I enjoyed it. And this suffered from the final issue letdown.
Was number 7 the final issue?
Yes.
Got it. So then hopefully we'll see a trade of it soon. I think I picked up issues 1 and 10, and like I think I read issue 1 but never like went back. So
when I go to pick up my comics, I ended up getting these digital because I didn't want to. I was too much of a pain in the ass to get up at 10 a.m. to go ride over there and get it after a long night of work. But I am going to get the Gabriel Rodriguez cover because reasons.
Yeah.
Just spiteful reasons. So this kind of tied everything up in a neat little bow to a degree, but the ending was so unsatisfying. Just Joe Hill had a bit of his dad come out in this story where it ended, and it was just like, eh. And I enjoyed it up to that point. I don't know what ending I was hoping for. And maybe that was an expectation because of a horror book, but I felt like it kind of had an Incredible Hulk TV show ending. Okay. The only thing it was missing was the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. There was a lot of deaths in this that did happen, but it's hard to explain the ending without spoiling it. I don't really want to spoil it because people might actually want to read it and enjoy it. Out of 10, I'd say it's like a 5.5.
What? So previous to the last 2 issues, what would you have rated it out of 10 before the last 2 issues?
I think I was sitting at about a 6.5, 7.
Okay.
Like it wasn't perfect, but there were some really enjoyable moments of like the weirdness of it. So like basically she is on this like, closest I can say it's like the island from Jaws, like this resort island, visiting her boyfriend, and there's some weird stuff going on with the cops, and there's also a prison break that went on at the same time. And to defend herself, she finds this axe at her boyfriend's boss's house where he collects these weird antiques. And it's a Norse axe that supposedly cut the world tree Yggdrasil. And
Yggdrasil?
Instead of being cursed with death, it's cursed with life. So she cut someone's head off, one of the inmates, and the head's still talking. So literally she's carrying around a basket full of heads that are talking at a certain point. The body's dead, but the head will still talk.
Yeah.
Kind of
that definitely like sounds like a lot rooted in that like Celtic and Druid mythology, because there's a lot about like talking heads, and that has a lot to do with, you know, some of that.
Yeah, just kind of weird, but it was just weird enough. I was like, okay, I need to see more of this. And it was enjoyable for the most part, but we just got to this point. I kind of was just not digging it. And I'm sad because I really like Joe Hill's writing, and I feel like he maybe spread himself a little too thin on these Hill House books because he's writing quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But that is my take on it. Your next one.
My next one, and now that I'm actually thinking about it, I can't recall if issue 3 was this week or last week, so I apologize. But Alienated,
Not read
by Simon Spurrier. I've read a couple other things. One of the things that comes to mind is The Spire, which was really good, like a little bit weird science fiction, LGBTQ representation. And so this one, I actually didn't go back and reread issues 1 and 2 this week, but I remember that I really liked it. It was really weird, and it just felt like heartwarming, but still like you want to know more. So issue number 3, I think, like I said, came out this week or last week. So I'm really excited to read issue 3 of Alienated, specifically because I really enjoy Spurrier's writing.
This wrapped up a series that I've read and enjoyed for all the wrong reasons. Butcher of Paris by Stephanie Phillips, art by Dean Kotz, colored by Jason Wordie, lettering by Troy Peteri, covered by Dave Johnson from Dark Horse. So this is the 5th and last issue, and the French police have finally caught up to Dr. Petiot, who is the Butcher of Paris. And a little short bit on this, it's based off a true story of a French doctor who was offering safe passage to Jews trying to escape Nazi-occupied France, and he was killing them and stealing their gold and their jewelry and everything else. They found 27 bodies, but he's been credited for 200. This issue in particular, it was his capture and then his ensuing questioning in jail, and then the trial, which the trial was interesting because he did the kind of cult of personality trial where he became the person trying to win over the jury and making a farce of the trial. Yeah. And he eventually snaps during the trial because the detective who they never thought was going to show up to the trial showed up and broke him, like made him snap. And it ends with him being beheaded.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's a true story.
Yeah. So obviously this was a limited run.
Yes. And this is like the kind of stuff you...
I dig that artwork a lot.
Yeah. Weirdly, it's very Dave Johnson, even though Dave Johnson didn't do the art. Yeah. Again, this is one of those things where like the premise of it sounded interesting. And then in the back of the first issue, it's like, hey, by the way, this really happened. Here's the historical research on it that the author did. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. And at the end of the issue, the very last, when they show his beheading, they list some of the confirmed victims and their names in history, who they were, and kind of gave them their forum, I guess.
I dig that. I like anything that's based on like historical stuff, but doesn't try to do anything that's like, oh, let's go ahead and write a story about Hitler where we idolize or try to sympathize with Hitler. So I like it when stories seem to do that. So that sounds, even though you kind of give it away a little bit, I'll probably still check it out on the trade.
7 out of 10 for me. I think that's my grade would be for once it's a trade. I think it'd be like a solid 6.5, 7. I honestly, like, it was hard to put down because after finding out that it like was something that really happened, and you think I thought it was just gonna be this weird horror serial killer book, and I was like, oh well, it's a serial killer book, but it's real life horror. That is pretty much it for me. That's all I managed to actually read. I sadly did not get to read the new Dr. Aphra.
That was another one. I'm kind of I haven't checked out like the previews, like description of it, but I did read the previous Dr. Aphra, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really hope that we get to see her on the screen. She's the first openly queer character in the Star Wars universe, as well as one of the only characters that headlined their own comic book that's not from the movies. So I'm really excited to see that. I really hope that, because if you've watched a stream before, you know my hot take on the last Star Wars movie. Did not enjoy it at all. But the one redeeming thing about the Star Wars franchise is that Taika Waititi is going to be doing some new movies, and I'm here for that. I hope he gets to take on Dr. Aphra and bring her to the screen at some point.
What if it just becomes what Star Wars does in the shadows?
Yes. I love everything that Taika Waititi has like touched.
It's called Butcher of Paris.
Oh. Butcher of Paris. We need the little like scrolly bar thingy again.
Yeah, I didn't think we need it for this, and I didn't set it up ahead of time.
That's all right. So yeah, the picks for me for the week were Mercy, King of Nowhere, and Alienated. So there's your scroll thing.
Mercy is not a recommend for me. Maybe wait for the trade, save your money. I mean, you won't really save your money, but you might save like $1 or $2, maybe. Yeah. It depends. If they were the $9.99 books, I'd say definitely you'd save your money, but I don't think they do that anymore.
If you're one of the people like me, where I'll buy the single issues as well as the trade, just buy the trade, maybe. Who knows?
It's a good call. Yeah, I do that sometimes because I don't want to open my issues because I'm an insane collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it for me this week on comics. Like, I've been trying to catch up on some older stuff that I don't normally read.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, what's up, man?
So I ended up throughout the quarantine, I guess just because I was like sitting here, and I don't know, I ended up buying a whole bunch of used books from Powell's. I actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes from Powell's over there where I ordered like 3 or 4 books at a time, and sometimes they would come in a week. Sometimes it took them like a month. So this last week, I think I got 3 shipments just in this last week. So I actually have a book of trades, or sorry, like a stack of trades right here. If you don't mind if I like
go ahead.
Show what I'm reading. So Harrow County, this
liked
is one,
it.
I know that you had recommended it. So whenever I buy them on there, I typically buy them used. So like not only is it a really great deal, but they're usually like great comic books that are highly recommended. So this one, horror, that's all I really know is that it's horror, and I'm still very excited about it. put out by Dark Horse, Harrow County. Another book, I had read some of the trades, but never like did a whole run afterwards. So Sleepless, published by Image. Sarah Vaughan,
Layla
Del Duca. So
Love
Alyssa
Shutter.
Salah, Duran Bennett. So I'm really excited to read this in like one collected issue. So this was another one of my picks. I also got Black Orchid. I had issue 1, but hadn't gone back and read them like all. So I went ahead and picked up Black Orchid by Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean. So very excited to read that. Let me see.
Harrow County is Cullen Bunn, Cinia.
Yes. Yep. I kind of
love the 6 Gun by him as well.
I don't want to say that I have a love-hate relationship with Cullen Bunn the way that I have a love-hate relationship with Rick Remender. But I like there's things that I really liked by Cullen Bunn. And then the one that I bought recently, Unearth, I thought that I was really going to enjoy that. Did not. Maybe it's because I had just read Nameless by Grant Morrison.
See, Unearthed was one, like, there was a bunch of people on Instagram that got, like, preview copies and were, like, just overselling the shit out of it. And then, like, I sat there, I was like, it's all right. Like,
yeah, it was all right. But like I said, if you're going to read one or the other, if you were going to read Unearthed or Nameless, I would read Nameless. Like, it was, in my opinion, a superior title in the writing as well as the artwork. So, another one that I got, and I'm really surprised I haven't read this one sooner. I don't know if I've brought it up, but The Weatherman.
That was a weird book.
Strange science fiction, and so I like weird science fiction. So I'm excited to go ahead and read that. I also got Simon Says, which sounds like it's about like Nazi killers. So I'm very excited to read that. Cool black and white artwork. Then another title that I bought, kind of on the same theme, Lily Renee, escape artist. She got captured.
You're on a dark jag here with Nazis.
100%. So she ended up escaping and became a comic book artist. So I'm very excited to read about her. I also got, Junji Ito's Cat Diary. So once again, kind of excited to see if this is as weird horror as he normally has. And then this one, I'm not sure how to pronounce the title. AAMA. Ama. But it definitely has some like Dune meets maybe Planet of the Apes. Like there's some talking monkeys in here, and I thought I saw a sandworm at one point, and like this dude kind of just reminds me of Muad'Dib. So I just don't know what to expect with this, but it was recommended by someone who I talked with on Instagram. So found it used at Powell's, went ahead and bought it. My last one, Sonic says to kill your local Nazis. Yes, kill your local Nazis, 100%. Harass the shit out of them. So the last book that I have to recommend, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's Galacticon by Brendan Small, who did Metalocalypse.
Oh.
I love Metalocalypse a lot, and this one didn't hit the same way.
Fucking clown. Nathan explosion.
So it also reminded me a little bit of the Orville. Like like if you watch the Orville, it's like he recently gets divorced and ends up on a ship. So the same thing kind of happens here. It reminds me of like a cross between the Orville, and I don't mean this in a good way, but it reminds me also of the Ankle. So I'm not sure how I feel about it yet because I'm only like one issue in. But
so then have a Dr. Roxo rock and roll clown.
I wish.
I did cocaine.
I'm Dr. Roxo. Yeah, so I really love Metalocalypse. But I don't know if I would love this enough. So we'll see. I was supposed to go back to work, and I literally walking to work on my first day back, I stubbed my fucking toe, and I'm literally like bedridden.
You did more than stubbed it.
I did more than I thought that it was just a stub, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. And then I went home, and my big toe is like disgustingly bruised. I won't go into much more detail, but I broke my toe, foot, fractured it. So I'm going to be laying in bed and on the couch for at least the next couple days, maybe the next couple weeks. Who knows? So
I reread this after a year and a half of not reading it. I'm ready for it's our book for this month's or June's book club.
I'm so sad. So part of my Powell's orders, that one was supposed to be available and it was used. And then I forget what other 2 books I ordered with it, but it didn't come in. And I'm like, what the hell? And I guess they had already refunded me the money, but they couldn't find it available. So I may end up having to read that one digitally, but
because I would say Amazon has it in print for $7.99 or digital for $6.99.
I may
not
end up
really
buying
that
it digital.
Yeah, it's really marginal the price.
Yeah.
I mean, either way. And I was reading old Spider-Man issues.
Oh, okay. Like how old?
70s.
Oh, okay.
I bought like forever ago the CD-ROMs that have everything up until.
Did you just say CD-ROM?
Yes.
And you judge me for trying to make Boy Howdy a thing, and you just said CD-ROM.
That's what it says on the box. It's a Spider-Man set. It has the entire collection from 1960 to, I want to say, the J. Michael Straczynski run. Like, all of it.
Okay. Go ahead with your bad CD-ROM self.
Listen, any port in a storm. So, and they only have like, it's like 100 issues per disc.
Per disc.
I know. Listen, lady, I did what I had to do. I bought this 2005.
Damn, dude, it's been 15 years. It's time to upgrade your hardware.
No, the thing came on discs. Like, I had no way of ripping it off of there. Otherwise, I would have.
You know what? It definitely would have sealed the deal if it came with one of those like free trial AOL CD-ROMs as well.
Fuck off. Like, seriously.
Boy, Howie, that must have been a good deal.
Look who woke up. Look who woke up now. Oh, listen. I still have my laser discs, by the way.
Your laser discs.
Yes.
You got any like Betamaxes?
No, but we did have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on beta when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We used to watch it during dinner of all fucking things.
Yeah, because that was, of course, why not?
The only movie we had. We got the beta player and we got that. That was it. So it was always interesting hearing Franklin whine while reading it. Oh, come on. And my mom would start imitating Franklin.
Aw.
Oh, come on now.
On a floppy disk. Yep.
I'm being ganged up on. It's not fair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be coming in with one of those giant reel-to-reels for like the Batcave computer.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure you've got something embarrassing. I mean,
oh my God, I have nothing if not embarrassing stuff, to be completely honest with you. It's just a like closet full of embarrassing skeletons. That's my life at this point.
I mean, the most embarrassing was on the very first episode we did for the book club, not thinking that anybody would ever watch it. We're doing Die, and I talked about my embarrassing mixtapes that I would make for girls.
Oh, that's not embarrassing. I would do that for like people too. Like that. I like seriously, like I still had mixtapes in high school, like in the
But like
mid-2000s.
I 100% got embarrassed after we got a comment on the video from Stephanie Hans. I was like, oh god, she knows about my mixtape.
Stephanie, I'm sure Stephanie Hans loves your mixtapes and would. You should send her one. Not in a creepy way, but you should send her a mixtape and you should send her one of them CD-ROMs.
Oh no, like fuck off. For real though, like I used to write down and keep in a binder what I put on those mixtapes. Mm-hmm. Just so like I had record of what I put on, so I'd never duplicate it. I did make a mix MP3 mix for the person I won't name or allude to much more than that. Yeah. I had made one and like I did it on my app with turntables. So yeah, it came back to life.
Back in high school, I remember my like best friend, my BFF in high school, and her and I would get like a blank tape and we would record songs back and forth. So like I would do a song and then she would like respond with a song, and like she hated Typo Negative, so I always ended up like putting stuff like Typo Negative on there. So like I don't know, that's a special time. Mixtape, yeah, 100%. Like if you were lucky enough to catch a song on the radio and you could like hit record, that was magic back then. I am this year's old. Like
I always put in like a song, like I'd be like, all right, I know they don't like industrial music, but I'm gonna sneak this one in, or like, you know, even worse, be like, I'm really into this girl. She's gonna love Pantera's "This Love."
Ooh yeah, next Rain and Blood.
And I look back at it and I'm going, what the fuck was that? Because I look back at those lyrics, and it's just like,
yeah.
Peter Steele is a god.
Peter Steele is a god, and I have a thing for him even post-mortem. Like, if you've seen that Playgirl spread, Peter Steele can get it. Get it. Even as a corpse, Peter Steele can get it.
I never listened to them. Like, Typo Negative. Typo Negative, was that the Christian woman?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ looks like me. Yeah, that.
The one that always got me is because the dude's look never changed was the Sisters of Mercy. It's always dark glasses, cane, even when like I
love Sisters of Mercy. Are you talking about Andrew Eldritch? I mean, even though he's like we're not goth, like
yeah, right. This corrosion. And they always had that girl who looked like she was escaped from Mad Max movie.
Oh, yeah. I can't even think of her name right now, but yeah.
All right. Like, you guys need...
You could bless me any time of day. 100%. 100%.
Wow. This took a turn. Thirst.
Yes. Thirst for, Peter Steele. Rest in a penis, I guess.
I don't think there's any, like... female like front people from bands that like I ever went like nutty about. Like maybe Shirley Manson from Garbage, but like even that was just like, oh, she seems like a cool person.
I always had a thing for Courtney Love, even though like totally fucked up, and I don't know.
But like actresses now, like Gemma Arterton, who is like totally not really widely known. I have such a huge crush her. She was in that weird vampire movie Byzantium with...
I haven't seen that one.
Ronan Sioris? I can never pronounce her fucking name.
Sorcy, something like that.
Yeah. She was also in that Clash of the Titans movie as Io.
Okay. I'm going to totally derail this conversation right now. Have you watched on Shudder Blood Machines?
I have not yet.
Dude, Trent Reznor, yes, 100%. I didn't find an appreciation for Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails until like a little bit later. But seriously, Blood Machines on Shudder, you have to watch. Like, you have to watch. Seriously, it was so good. It was like whoever the director or writer, whoever was like, okay, we're going to have people who are drinking oil out of a machine, and there's going to be a lady trapped inside a spaceship, and there's going to be another lady floating in the air, and she has an upside down cross that ends at her vulva.
Oh.
Yeah. It's weird, but it works. And it was so good. And totally sober when I watched it, and I could probably watch it again sober, and it was so enjoyable.
Well, I know next week you can find me watching Last Days of American Crime on Netflix.
What did I watched something on Netflix recently, but I can't recall.
I've just been watching Horror's Hallowed Grounds on YouTube. But
I watched one episode, but I didn't catch any more.
It gets really funny when the guy who was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 comes out and starts fucking with him. Like,
I bet.
It's an ongoing like skit going through it. Where he's like, "Are you not doing Nightmare on Elm Street 2 because it's the gay movie? Is that why you're not doing it?" And he goes, "No, we haven't been paid to do it." He goes, "All right, Freddy would ass rape Michael Myers." He's like, "Okay." And the guy was in Weird Science also. He was one of the bullies. It's hard to even describe what the fuck goes on in it, but I love that they have some of the old cast members of these movies, take them around.
Yeah.
Boy, I got real sidetracked with this whole Peter Steele shit.
Right.
I'm just like,
as you should. He's worthy of it.
I don't even. I did go down like a weird hole the other day of watching old Skinny Puppy live performances.
I think it wasn't Skinny Puppy, it was Ministry that you sent to me.
Yeah, that was the show I went to. I got my nose broken in 10th grade. That was like my first Florida show I went to, but good God, that was an intense show. But there's a ton of Skinny Puppy live footage that someone did like HD remasters of. And I was just like, I forgot how good theater their shows were. And like how Ogre's like, putting eyes, gauze on his eyes and walking around and dancing with a torso. Yeah.
I've been watching Doctor Who. They had a pretty good deal, and right when I broke my foot, my partner was like, "I went ahead and bought you Doctor Who." So I've been jamming on the Christopher Eccleston.
I don't like Doctor Who. I hate time travel.
Why?
I hate fucking time travel.
But
it's a show that it's a show that everybody like presents as like an A+, and at best it's a C.
I would say,
especially the Matt Smith ones, where I'm just like, just doesn't do it for me. But I love Torchwood.
Totally disagree. Weird. Totally disagree.
I love Torchwood, but John Barrowman's just awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with that. John Barrowman is delicious.
Like, I can understand why everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And just Doctor Who, I'm just like, meh. And I remember
David Tennant.
David Tennant's okay. I like him in other stuff, but not so much Doctor Who. I'm
going to disagree with you there.
I mean, like, I remember on PBS when I was a kid, it used to be on the weekends. And it was the dude with the scarf with the big the big afro. I can't remember.
Baker.
It was him. Him and Bob Ross would be on like one after the other. It was like a Sunday of Froze. And then also like when I lived in New York, like I had Abbott and Costello movies and Godzilla movies every Sunday.
Nice.
Yes, especially the Godzilla ones because it was the real bad dubbed ones. So like my mom and I would watch and do the oh no, it's Godzilla. The Weeping Angels.
Yeah. See, someone appreciates fine classic art. Don't worry. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and find Doctor Who on a CD-ROM and send it to you so you can actually watch it.
I should just get my fucking mouth shut.
You probably should have. I probably wouldn't be making fun of it as much, but you give me shit for saying boy howdy, so
no, because you're the one who turned around like, I'm making it happen. I was like, did you get stoned and watch fucking Joe Bob Briggs? Because that's the only time I've heard "boy howdy" said, and usually about Tom Savini in Friday the 13th. Like, boy howdy, he did some fine effects, and oh god, I'm sorry, you just like you stopped me cold last week because you're like, boy howdy. I was like, what?
And that was even before I had like broken my foot and been on like pain meds.
Yeah, that was just normal stuff, and like
that's just normal, Jennifer.
The fact you dug in, you're like, I'm making cloaca go away. I'm just gonna do this from now.
I don't know if I said I'm gonna make cloaca go away.
You weren't doing it anymore.
I said, boy howdy is the new cloaca hand gesture.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've really hit a bad hole here.
Yeah. That's what she said. That's what Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse said.
No, I think he said your farts stink.
Your farts. You goddamn farts. Love that movie.
Okay, Jennifer, he needs that Kitty Pryde figure behind you.
Here, catch.
Was that Marvel Legends?
Yeah. Yep.
I have a Kotobukiya statue in my case, a couple over. I've got her, Zatanna, Batgirl, Batwoman, and Spider-Gwen.
Batwoman's the only Kotobukiya one that I have. I have a lot more of the Marvel Legends and one of the, not the like Marvel Legends, but I can't recall what they're called. Marvel Direct ones. I've got Ironheart and Angela. I think I don't have a Magic, but I do have like 2 or 3 Magic figures.
Oh, Get Her Done we're both from Florida.
No,
we've heard, no, you won't hear that from, no.
Not even in an ironic way will I ever say that. And I will probably, the only other phrase that like comes close to me to like Get Her Done would be hunker down. Because
I was going to say that because every hurricane is hunker down.
Every hurricane, you got to hunker down. So I will usually never say those, even in an ironic way. I will never say those because there's like Florida PTSD with that stuff. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that makes sense now. Get Her Done. Larry the Cable Guy used to be on the radio constantly.
I was so traumatized by Florida that I literally had to move to the complete opposite side of the country. I could get further away if I moved to Washington or Alaska, but I'm in Oregon, so.
If you go to Alaska, you can see Russia from your backyard.
I can see Russia from my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not going there.
You know?
Don't you know? I'll never go to. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Alaska, but is it worth it?
I've been there once. I would only go for the 30 days a night.
Yeah, for sure. But
like,
even here in Oregon, like it's not like 30 days of complete night, but the sunrise would be really late and then it would get dark at like 4. So when I first moved here from Florida and it would just start being dark at 4, I'm like, even though I'm pale and even though when I was in Florida, I was vitamin D deficient, like I didn't know how to handle the lack of sunlight here.
Did you start playing Bloodletting the Vampire song by Concrete
Blonde?
Yes,
by Concrete Blonde.
In the zero
He's going down by the river where it's warm and green. Oh my God, yeah, Concrete Blonde. That's exactly what I'm going to listen to later when I'm like riding this high of caffeine and pain meds.
I did think that next time you want to talk about gatekeepering, you actually pull a pair of glasses out and just do the push-up.
I actually like I don't have very great eyesight. And it's getting worse. It's like I'm aging, so whatever. I do need glasses, and I really want them because I feel like it fits my like not gatekeeping personality, but my like nerdier than thou personality. So one day.
Oh no!
And then that will become the new boy howdy. Will be.
Oh no! Just get one of those like Foster Grant ones, and yeah, you can buy at the store and just have those. Like...
Yeah.
Well, it would just have one of those like exaggerated anime things.
Well, if I did that, it would have to be like the anime daddy who like does the like 2 or like the 3 finger like glasses push up.
It's I think it's the 2.
It's the 2, 2 finger.
You do that, and the face kind of goes, and then the glint of the sun catches it and shines.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta have that like J.J. Abrams lens flare when you do it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Just want to thank everybody who came in. Cinemation, Nerd Jam, Cinia, my favorite, crazy curl girl now.
Curl girl, I love it.
Out there stirring up the pot,
doing the Lord's work.
I haven't gone on her Twitter today. I'm sure it's fire.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I don't go on Twitter much at all. So yeah, and anybody who's blocked me, who's watching, thank you. Boy, howdy, thanks.
That goes out to you, Tom King.
Yeah, person who's gonna write Batman again with Catwoman and have an artist I like and have me play Russian roulette every week or month, or is it 2 weeks? I don't even know when it's coming. Anyway, yeah, you, and I think that's yeah. I don't think he's. I don't. Sorry, cat just attacked something. I didn't know if a lizard got in.
That's okay.
So yeah, anyway, as we were wrapping up, you can find me on Instagram at comic_chop_news and occasionally on Twitter at chopcomic. It's got all of 10 followers, and all I do is repost stuff from this, so you won't find anything fascinating on there. Fuck you, Sanimation. Oh, that's a thing now. That's a thing.
Thank you, Sanimation. I appreciate it.
I still like you, Sanimation, but
yeah.
Let's just drop the whole CD-ROM thing and forget that ever happened.
No. Won't happen.
You're on painkillers. You're going to forget.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Like, take a few more and just take a nap. And just.
I've already taken, like, the maximum for this time, so we'll see.
And Jennifer, they can find you at...
So I mostly, like, I post stuff on Instagram for the most part. Mostly it's just been, like, selfies. And then on YouTube, I've been putting out like a review a week. So on Instagram, my name is Comic Books Will Break Your Heart. On YouTube, I'm Comics Will Break Your Heart. And
I want the little bouncing ball across the words.
It's how I have to like remember. And then I'm also on Patreon where you can get some like cool stuff, like recommendations, and you can tell me what you want on my pull list. So on Patreon, I'm also Comics Will Break Your Heart. And tomorrow I will also be an episode on Radio of Horror, and I'll be talking about Hack Slash. So you can find me on there. There'll be an episode up tomorrow. So yeah, I'm actually really... Oh no!
Yeah, like it started falling. That's like jumped up. Like, oh.
I was saying tomorrow there will be an episode on Radio of Horror, talking about Hack Slash. So that episode will be out tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. And
are you still doing the Comic Lounge, or is that kind of?
Nope.
All right.
So just like the other stuff that I do, because I can't even before this, like I felt kind of stretched thin a little bit, and now with whatever the fuck is going on with my foot, so.
Is it your left foot or your right foot?
It's my left foot, so. Darn. Not that it matters. I'm ambidextrous with my feet, I guess.
Oh no, I just want to feel like it's my left foot, or was it my left foot or my right foot, that movie like years ago?
I don't recall.
Oh, I can't remember. It was a big deal back in, well, never mind, you old, I forgot.
Were you just waiting for me to be like, oh, let me go through my CD-ROM collection and see if I have it? I'm never going to let it go. I'm never going to let it go.
I hate you. My own fault. Why is every woman in my life horrible? You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Tearing me apart.
I'm gonna go get some answering machines and use them as listening devices.
You can find this week's episode on Betamax at your local Blockbuster.
I'm just. You can find it if you're using CompuServe.
Oh, boy howdy. Comic Chop ROM for life. Yes! This has been a great episode.
Is it? Oh no! No! Oh, oh god! The worst part is this isn't where it ends. Sid's gonna eventually watch this, and then I'm gonna have it worse because it's just gonna be what the fuck. But hey, she didn't hate our lists, so that's something.
That is true. Her list was a love child for the top essential reads. It was hers would be a love child of ours.
Except with 200% more Remender.
Yeah.
Which would have been 2 books.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna end it. I'm gonna go play my VHS vault before I go to work. Thank you everyone for this ball busting episode that I'm gonna have to recover from now. All I say is vengeance is sweet. When it comes, it shall come with a thunder. All of you. I need that Leon the Professional, Gary Oldman. Oh. Anyway, take care, everyone. So long. Farewell.
Bye, everyone.
I'm gonna go just cry for a bit. Bye.